We're going to start the tubular cast on 2x2 rib in 2x1 needle setup. Make sure your front bed is racked to center 0. Your handle is down. Orange strippers are in. Your front and back locks are set to NN. Stitch size 1.5 on both locks. Take your orange needle selector and pull up 24 needles each side of 0 on the front bed. Leave the first needle on the left and work. Drop the second needle down to non-working position. Leave 2 more needles in work, the next one down. 2 in work, 1 down. 2 in work, 1 down. Do this all the way across. What you're going to have, if you've done it correctly, is you're going to have 1 needle in work on each end, then a needle out of work, 2 needles in, 1 out, 2 needles in, 1 out, all the way across. On the back bed, pull up your needles. The first needle in work position on the back bed on the left side here is going to be the first needle to the right of your first needle on your front bed. And pull up your needles all the way across. The last needle on the back bed in work position on the right side is going to be just to the left of your last needle on your front bed. And in this particular needle setup, you're going to ignore the pass-up needle rule. Now on the back bed, leave the first 2 needles in work, push the next one down to non-working position. 2 in work, 1 out. 2 in work, 1 out. All the way across. If you've done the back bed correctly, you're going to have 2 needles in work on each end. Those 2 needles in work on each end are going to be just inside the 1 needle in work on each side of the front bed. So these 2 end needles here, you're going to use these for seaming at the end of the sock, which I'll show you, and they're going to leave almost an invisible flat seam when you seam the rib for the sock. Put your edge springs on. Make sure your latches are closed. Okay. Now you're going to rack 1 full turn to the left. Oop, I got to move the camera back a little bit. There we go. Make sure your main yard is threaded in your carriage, in your locks. Row count to 0, and we're going to knit 1 row across. Stop. Really important, release the yarn tail at the end here of your cast on yarn. Release that, let it drop. If you forget to do that, in a couple of rows you're going to find that it's really tight and you're not going to understand why. That's why. Okay. Set your front and back locks to CX for circular knitting. Put your stitch size at 5 and 5, and we're going to knit 2 rows. Stop. Okay, we're going to rack 1 full turn to the right. Move your locks to NN and knit 1 row. And your cast on's complete. Okay, we're going to start the 2x2 rib. We're going to do 68 rows. The only thing you have to change at this point is your row counter back to 0, and we're going to knit 68 rows. "68 rows. Okay, we're going to transfer the front bed stitches to the back bed, rack 1/2 turn to the right. This lines up your needles, and we're going to transfer all the front bed stitches straight back. Get rid of your edge springs. Now there's one thing I like to do at this point, and that's to take 3 claw weights and hang them on your rib. 1 on each side and 1 in the middle. And this just gives the ribbing a little more weight as you're transferring the stitches and turning your stitches around for circular knitting. And I do leave these on for the rest of the sock. Okay, stitches are transferred. Put your edge springs back on. Okay, your handle's up. We need to switch out our strippers and put in the black strippers. We're setting the beds back bed to N, front bed to GX, row count 0, tension back bed 6, front bed 6 1/4. Still have your weights on. We're going to knit 2 rows. One more thing, make sure all your front bed needles that you transferred are in non-working position, and knit 2 rows. Stop.